If you're thinking of growing your business, starting a business, expanding your market share, or looking for that next amazing job or building on your career, you're going to want to hear what I have to say. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Michael Robinson, founder of New York Staffing Services, a financial staffing company that I created over 30 years ago that serviced the financial sector on Wall Street, including Fortune 100 companies in other sectors. When it comes to employment, I know what employers are looking for and I know what triggers their interest. When it comes to running a business, I have 30 years of tried and true experience of running my company, among others. Currently, I run Microbin Incorporated, a workforce capital management company and publishing service that we provide to our customers along with a media platform. So, I understand how to navigate the difficult times and how to figure out the competitive advantage that puts us ahead of the game. And today, I'm going to be teaching you that by giving you 14 principles that I will share with you over the next couple of weeks that when implemented, trust me, you'll nail that job, advance your career, or build that business. My show is going to be called Think Like an Entrepreneur and Succeed in Your Career. Why? Because they're both compatible concepts, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like what we have to say. It will give us the opportunity of spreading the message to other people who will benefit from my years of experience in the financial market, in the staffing business, and certainly in managing employees. 1 year before 9/11, I moved my business to Wall Street. So I dealt with the devastating impact of 9/11 with offices 4 blocks away from ground zero. We had to navigate that challenging time as the economy in New York came to a standstill. No one was hiring, no one was buying, no one knew what to do. Then came the Great Recession of 2008, which was another challenging time for businesses. Many small businesses closed their doors because they could not deal with the devastating impact of what happened in the Great Recession. But we navigated that time as well. New York Staffing Services hired thousands of people over the years, and we have worked with some of the most amazing companies, both large and small. So today I'm going to share with you 14 principles that I'm going to unveil over the next couple of weeks that will give you an insight on how to prepare yourself for the future job market beyond the gig economy. There are 2 things happening at one time, folks. The first thing that's happening is that the future job market is going to be more competitive than ever. We have a new worker rising up in the esters of employment. It's called artificial intelligence. The future workforce is going to be competing with artificial intelligence, if they're not already, because many companies are using artificial intelligence to navigate the nuances within their businesses through applications or through websites or through managing security issues. But artificial intelligence is becoming smarter, is becoming more interactive, and is becoming more prevalent in companies. And I guarantee as time goes by, more jobs are going to be displaced as AI become the next valued employee of companies. Employees wouldn't have to pay sick time, they wouldn't have to pay overtime, they wouldn't have to deal with employee fatigue. They will have an employee on their hands, call AI, that will provide them with everything they need with no complaints. So what does that mean for you? Well, it doesn't mean that you're going to lose your job and you'll be jobless. It means that you have to be smart and proactive. And the way to be smart and proactive is to learn lessons from a valuable source. That source? Entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have brought to the table innovative ideas and creativity in order to have made them competitive and relevant in the economy. So today I'm going to be giving you that outline of those 14 principles that have made entrepreneurs. When I say think like an entrepreneur and succeed in your career, is because I believe the future workforce will have to be proactive about managing their careers, will have to be innovative, will have to spin on a dime, would have to diversify their skill sets, would have to think about what their competitive advantage is, what their brand is, what makes them relevant in the workforce. So I'm going to share with you the strategies that entrepreneurs have used over the years to make them competitive, and guaranteed if you apply those to your career, you will be successful moving forward. On the flip side of the coin, the business side, entrepreneurs will have to think outside the box, will have to come up with innovative ways in which they're competitive, would have to reshape and retool lessons that were learned from years gone by and apply them today in a different format. The world is now a global market at our fingertips. You click the mouse and you're suddenly accessing shops in Europe, shops in South America, shops in Africa, which means that your competition as a business has now grown exponentially because your customer base now has access to other potential markets in which they can buy, probably on a cheaper scale. So we're going to be tightening up all the nuts and bolts and figuring out how you can pivot on a dime and make sure that not only are you growing your business successfully, but you're also creating a sustainable infrastructure that will last through the years. In the next coming weeks, I'm going to give you 14 principles that have worked for me, that are absolutely tried and true during the past 30 years, from a business standpoint and from a career standpoint. Number one, be creative. Know what you want, know what piques your interest, and create a reality from that standpoint. And please don't tell me that you're not creative. We all are creative. That's what makes us inherently human, our ability to create our reality. Number two, do your research. If you're creating something, you want to research that which you're creating. Are other people doing this? And if so, what are they charging? How are they doing it? Who is buying it? Who is interested in it? So research is important. And in this day and age with Google at our fingertips, there is no excuse not to do your research. Research is probably the foundation for the success of one's career and for the success of any business. I remember 30 years ago having to do my research by going to business libraries at NYU. Now we don't have to go to business libraries. Google is available, so do your research. Number three, create a plan. A plan will become your roadmap to success. A business without a plan is a business that will fail. A career without a plan is a career that will not go the way you want it to go. You need to know how you want your career or your business to unfold and create that plan. I will give you a blueprint in one of my future upcoming shows. Number four, take action. It's one thing to create a plan, it's another thing to be able to implement that plan. Taking action is probably one of the most challenging things to do, but we'll talk about that as well. Number five, your brand. Who are you? What are you selling? Why does someone want to buy this product or service or skill sets from you? And how does it benefit their lives? So think about your brand and think about how it is represented in the world, or you want it to be represented in the world around you. Number 6, understand your competitive advantage. Now, it is similar to branding, but it's a little different. It's about understanding what makes you different from someone doing what you are doing. How are you different? How can you leverage doing what you're doing, right, in a way that is explaining to someone, this is how I do it, that's different from how he does it. That ability is your competitive advantage. And it's also knowing how you can sell it and package it in a way that someone wants to buy it. So your competitive advantage is very important in moving your brand forward. Number 7, diversification. It's one of the key things that makes a business successful. When you think about a grocery store, you walk in and they're not selling all milk or all sugar, right? There's a diversification of products in that store. When you think about an investment portfolio, you think of an investor putting different types of investment into that portfolio, so that diversification is across the board, from high-end risk investments to more lower-end risk investments. So diversification of a portfolio is important for an investor. Therefore, diversification of a product or service is important for a business model, and it is important for your career. I say to you, do not put all of your eggs in one basket. The idea of a specialist is almost becoming obsolete because there's so much happening in our world with technology replacing manpower and artificial intelligence, as I mentioned before, becoming so prevalent in the infrastructure of our technology and the workplace. So I say learn as many skills as you can, maybe not a whole ton, but no more than just one thing, because diversification of your skill set will give you a leg up in not just the future job market, but in terms of your business model moving forward. And we'll cover that on one of my future shows. Number 8, managing your resources. Managing your resources is probably one of the most important things when succeeding in business. Too often I've seen businesses fall apart because of poor management, or careers fall apart because of poor management. So understanding what that means, how to manage all of the things that you're responsible for consistently, is a key component in ensuring your success. Number 9, strategically planning ahead, right? Think about a year from now. Think about 5 years from now. Think about 10 years from now. How are you planning ahead strategically so you can be ahead of the game, so you can be aware of what's happening with the market, right? Because the markets are constantly shifting. So what's happening today is going to be different from what's happening a year from now, and you have to spin on a dime if you want to be successful. So how are you investing your time and energy in not only planning for the future, but also understanding where you are now and how you are changing your business model ever so slightly so that you shift as the market shifts. You see, the good thing about being a small business or a medium-sized business is that you can shift very easily. A bigger company is a lot clumsier. It has to go through tiers of management or boards of directors and meetings and all of that. But a business owner can basically shift on a dime, and so can an individual when it comes to his or her career. Number 10, quality of deliverables. Now, you think of what makes you go back to buy a certain product or service? Well, it's the quality of that product or service. That's what makes an entrepreneur successful, is by being able to provide that quality of service or product consistently across the board. And also when it comes to your career, you want to be able to bring to the table of your employer a sense of consistency in quality in your performance. So being able to know how to manifest that quality to your customer or to your boss is a key component. And I'm talking about quality of deliverables. And number 11, I'm talking about customer service. Customer service is probably the number 2 thing when it comes to these 2 elements, right? You provide quality and you provide good service. If you go to a store that has great quality product, but the service sucks, you may not want to go back, right? It's the same thing that happens for an employee. When someone is providing great service to that company and also has a great personality that is easy to work with, that is not a negative Nelly, right? That brings positive energy and excitement to the job, he or she is valued more for that customer service or that service than bringing all the top-notch skills to the table. Because I've seen too many highly qualified people coming to the table and destroying the infrastructure of a company's culture because of negative thinking or gossiping or all kinds of negative things. So quality of the service you provide is crucial along with your skill sets or your deliverables. Number 12, be proactive by keeping your eye on the market. Plan ahead versus reacting to the changes, right? Know how you can pivot as time goes by, because things are going to be changing every day, every month, every year. Nothing stays constant, and you must be willing to move along with the flow accordingly. Number 13, network. Spread your brand around. Let people know who you are and let them know what you're selling or what you're about. Because networking opens doors. Make connections from that standpoint, and it will expand your business model exponentially. Number 14, know your worth. Whether you're pricing yourself in terms of a salary or you're pricing an item in your store, never undersell yourself. Always know what the market is charging and always know how to present that to your customer or to your potential employer in a way that is diplomatic. Know how to value your skills and your services, and you will be valuable to whomever you sell your services or your skills or your talent to. Now, I'm going to be talking about this in the weeks to come, so tune in to my channel right here on YouTube to get more information on thinking like an entrepreneur, succeeding in your career. I'm Michael Robinson, and remember, this is your time. Use it wisely.